Robert Browning was born in 1812 and died in December 1889. He was an English poet and playwright who had the ability to write dramatic monologues in a time when ghosts, death, and spiritualism began to matter. This interest was inspired by Queen Victoria herself, who chose to wear black following the death of her husband Prince Albert in 1861. Browning ranked high among the Victorian poets. He embellished elements of irony, characterization, dark humor, social commentary, historical settings, and above all used challenging vocabulary and syntax. That is how words fit together to form sentences. This is an interesting poem that Robert Browning composed. It is dramatic and detailed. It talks about the poet's own fears and thoughts about death and the meaning of it. It was in fact the death of Mrs. Browning that sparked off his curiosity. It was first published in 1864 in Dramatis Personae. It builds up an interesting picture of a man in his dying stages. Let us listen to the poem. Fear death, to feel the fog in my throat, the mist in my face. When the snows begin, and the blasts denote, I am nearing the place. The power of the night, the press of the storm, the post of the foe, where he stands, the arch fear in a visible form. Yet the strong man must go, for the journey is done and the summit attained, and the barriers fall. There are battles to fight ere the guerdon be gained. The reward of it all. I was ever a fighter, so one fight more. The best and the last. I would hate that death bandaged my eyes and forbore, and made me creep past. No. Let me taste the whole of it, fare like my peers. The heroes of old bear the brunt, in a minute pay glad life's arrears, of pain, darkness, and cold. For sudden the worst turns the best to the brave. The black minutes at end, and the elements rage, the fiend voices that rave, shall dwindle, shall blend, shall change, shall become first a peace out of pain, then a light, then thy breast. O thou soul of my soul, I shall clasp thee again, and with God be the rest. Although dark and melancholic, the poem is said to be an optimistic poem about death and the afterlife. Prospice itself means to look forward in Latin. The poet looks forward to solving the mystery of the afterlife and wonders what people he might meet, whether it be his relatives or heroes of historical folklore. This is a dramatic poem in the form of a monologue. This is where Browning feels that he needs to express his own thoughts and reflections to a wider audience. These are the thoughts of a dying man comforting himself. The words and the phrases that they make are very interesting. They build up a picture of his own beliefs and those of the masses at a time when mortality was high. The poet begins by questioning the nature of death itself and asks whether it needs to be feared by so many. He understands that a bad cough and a blurred vision can be symptoms of it. However, only when he feels a cold sensation and the muscles start to voluntarily jolt is he in fact nearing death. He then refers to the power of the darkness and the drama that is unfolding in his body. He meets the feared Grim Reaper in person. He understands that he is a strong man and despite his fears that he must face death eventually. This is because he has reached the end of his natural life and the highest point reachable in humanity. All his personal inhibitions are dropped. There is a battle between life and death going on inside him, but he knows that he will be rewarded and will receive his best ever reward of peace and immortality. He has always been a fighter throughout his life. This is his greatest fight and his last. He is strong-willed and hates the thought that his own fear of death might turn him into a coward. He wants to explore all the emotions of death full on, just like his deceased friends have done before him. He then goes on to mention that all the great heroes of the past have had to bear the brunt. He is glad that at the moment of his death he is able to settle all the troubles of his life that have been caused by pain, darkness, and cold. This could refer to the pain caused by poor medical treatment, epidemics, and the high mortality rate in the 19th century. The darkness could refer to the dark environments caused by poor lighting. The cold could refer to the cold living conditions at a time when there was no central heating. He understands that evil people must be brave at the moment of death too. Then death comes. The processes of life reach a dramatic conclusion. He hears the voices of spiritual beings tormenting him, but he knows that he must relax and blend in with them. He understands that he needs to change his mindset and find peace out of all the pain he has felt in his life. He sees the light and grabs his chest in awe. He feels some sadness about leaving his physical body and hopes that he is reincarnated into his old physical form again. It is then up to God to take control.